Every Friday morning at 9 Pacific, I host a 1-hour Does It Pencil masterclass. Every session is a new idea about how to make the right decisions about money, wealth, and your future. You can listen to the presentation on Spotify or YouTube, or you can join us by visiting doesitpencil.com and going to the masterclass page. Thanks. March 27th, Mercedes is here.
There you go. Yay.
It's such a head trip that we all go through. Oh my God, all the hand-wringing, all the consternation and all the forethought and future tripping. When it comes down to it, it's like every other GD decision any human makes in their life. It's a yes or a no. That's all it is. And it happens in a moment because that's how decisions work.
You know, the conversation, I basically just outlined the things we couldn't change. I gave them context on what the market's doing, and I asked them what their goal is. And ultimately, they want to get the place sold. Otherwise, it's going to go back in the rental pool. And, you know, what I also know is that, you know, they don't want to put it back in the rental pool. They want to sell it and move on. So,
yeah.
That, you know, so, and it's to your point, you know, you don't need to posture, you know, you need to listen too. Like these, you know, these are the facts. You know?
Well, and I would also say that, you know, every situation is different. So I want to get into SWOT analysis, but thank you for bringing this up, Pete. And we got some stuff to write down today. So since I brought the magic tablet, and Kelly, I've been working on my handwriting for the last 7.5 weeks. I hope it's better. It probably won't be, but I'm going to just give her a try here. Okay.
I think typing is your strong suit. Typing.
I'm working on building my skills, Kelly.
Oh, ooh, look at that word. Wow.
That's how people make decisions. Everybody, every time, there are no exceptions. I've done tons of homework on this. People make decisions emotionally and justify rationally. So the best salesmen don't sell the numbers, they sell the feelings. So for today, what I want to talk about is SWOT analysis, SWOT. And I came into my office last night and I made you this super awesome little video. So I'm going to start with this. It's about 10 minutes. We'll watch this and then we'll talk about it. All right. In this video, what I want to talk about is something called SWOT analysis. SWOT. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we're going to make some notes in just a minute here. So have pen and paper as always for the Does It Pencil webinar. But what I want to start out with is just kind of a basic understanding, just a general statement about what SWOT is and what you should use it for. So SWOT is a point of view. It is a paradigm. It's a way of seeing things. And probably the easiest way to analogize SWOT analysis is it's like that 50,000 foot point of view. Okay. It's a way to look down and see yourself in your relationship to your environment. And you can use it individually or you can use it collectively. A lot of companies use it. I learned about SWOT when I was an undergraduate in business school in the 80s. So it's been around for a while. Okay. And the thing about things around for a while is they're around for a while because they tend to work. Okay. And we have all the clouds and the AI and all the other stuff, but people are still people. Okay. And so SWOT is a people kind of a thing. So let's make some notes. Okay. So first of all, let's get the words right. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. All right, so the first thing about SWOT to understand, the first real big element, is that 2 of them are internal and 2 of them are external. So the internals are the strengths and weaknesses, and the externals are obviously the opportunities and the threats. All right, so internals and externals. And the thing about internals is that these are things that you can control, and externals are things that you can't control. So really the fulcrum and the domain of SWOT analysis is this control thing. Now I'll give you some examples in just a minute about different strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But the first real grounding piece is 2 are internal, 2 are external, and this is really all about what you can control and what you can't control. Some people understand things better in pictures, all right? So let's just take a minute here and draw a very simple 4-square graph just to further define and further explain what SWOT analysis is. So let's set it up this way. Let's do strengths, and the weaknesses to the right of that. And then opportunities and threats. So if we turn this into a 4-square grid, it would look something like this, okay? Now, these strengths and opportunities, you can think of these as helpful. And the weaknesses and threats, these would be harmful. So that's the way the y-axis goes. On the x-axis, these are internal strengths and weaknesses, as I said before, and the opportunities and threats are external. All right, so that's a pretty simple 4-square kind of a graph, word picture sort of a thing to help you further understand in your mind's eye what we're doing with this SWOT analysis thing. All right, now let's take some specific words and apply them to SWOT. So we really get a little bit better understanding, a little bit better definitional quality of what this SWOT thing is all about, okay? And so to do this, I'm just going to make up 2 examples, one for a business or a company and one for personal. And I'll be a little tongue-in-cheek about the personal one, but it might go something like this. So I put down my strengths, my weaknesses, opportunities, and my threats. So let's do business first. What would be a business strength? Well, a business strength might be my brand. Okay, that's usually a pretty important one. And what might be a weakness? Lack of capital. So I can't expand my business. What might be an opportunity? Well, solving problems is always a good one. Maybe you have something you can solve somebody's problem. And a pretty common threat, an external, might be the government. So that's a pretty simple example of what a business SWOT analysis might look like. Now, I think that another really strong utility of SWOT is being able to use it personally. Okay, so like I said, be a little tongue-in-cheek on this one. So let's take a look at a personal one. And let's be specific. Let's talk about me being in a relationship. Okay, so one of my strengths might be that I'm really funny. Okay, that's a strength. That's an internal. And a weakness might be, I don't listen very well. So an opportunity might be, let's just say therapy. That's always a good opportunity because that's an external. I don't have control of what happens in the therapy process. I mean, I kind of do, but it's led by somebody else. And a threat might be my partner leaving me. Okay? So again, the first two I can control, the second two I cannot control. All right, I want to finish up my little lecturette here about SWOT by giving you just a couple things to think about, okay? And these are notes that you definitely should make and write down. So let's talk first about your response. Okay, and I'm going to put / here, your decisions, because SWOT really is best taken as a decision-making tool. So as I said, strengths and weaknesses. These are internal. And these you can change. Okay? Now remember what I said. The fulcrum of this thing is control. So your strengths and weaknesses are things about yourself that you can actually do something about. These are the things that you can change. The second part, the opportunities and the threats, these are external. And these you can only respond. Now, some people are going to say, oh, well, I can control my response. Well, that's true. But you can't control the circumstances. You can't control the situation because opportunities and threats are external. So all you have left with those really is your response. Okay? So one more time, strengths and weaknesses, internal, you can control those. Opportunities and threats, external, you can only respond to those, okay? And one last thought about SWOT analysis. This should be selective, not exhaustive. All right, so the last thing I'm going to say about SWOT analysis is this. You should use this selectively, not exhaustively. Now, those two words kind of juxtapose science and art, okay? I mean, it's up to you to decide how you're going to use this, but use it, however, don't use it as a hammer to beat yourself up with. And don't just spend, weeks, months, and years in doing this, okay? Take the appropriate time, but remember, it's a decision-making tool, so make the decision and get on with it. Okay. Mercedes, what'd you think about that video?
I liked it. I've been doing like a similar exercise without naming it. So I like to have some structure around that.
Good. Yeah, the one thing I noticed, you guys, I mentioned last week, there's a brand new office space for me. But I was listening to that thumping bass sound. I think it was the snap on my jacket because the microphone's right next to it. So that has been noted and that will be taken care of. But Matthew, what did you think of the video on SWOT analysis?
It's very good, Joe. For many years, I think the last time we did some courses on strength analysis when I was in college. and that is way back. So thank you for bringing it up again.
Yeah, good. Craig, what did you think of it?
Oh, I actually love this stuff. It's it's stuff I've been thinking about a lot lately because I've had a lot of changes going on in my life and my career. And the basics never get old. So this is really valuable. And I like the acronym because it's easy to remember. And so thank you for addressing this.
Have you seen this before?
I have. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's been around for a while. Jock, what did you think of our little video production there?
I've been a little bit of training when I was in education, and it's been a while since I thought about it. And I'm appreciative that you brought it back up because it's pretty timely for what I've got going on.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting how those of us are, a little bit further along in life, a lot of people, especially who went to college, have heard of this before. It's just been a long time. And I thought about that last night as well. This is a good topic. It's always good every once in a while to go back to the basics. There was a brief moment in time when I played competitive basketball. I wasn't very good. I had to swim instead. But layup shots and free throw, those are just, when you do that sport, you think those are the easiest shots in the world until you get in the game. And those are the ones that are the clutch shots. So you practice them over and over and over. Right? Okay. Pete, you got anything to throw down real quick before I go on to the next move here?
Well, I Googled it real quick, SWOT, just to see what came up. And obviously it's all over AI and everything. There's some really cool graphics for that. Like Craig said, I'm doing a lot of this self-evaluation right now myself. And so I think it's super valuable. I would maybe, but the only feedback on the video is it kind of at a point seemed like it was a little bit long. Like you could almost break it down into shorter modules, a little more bite size, because that's just for me.
It's fine. And you can leave. It's fine. Just kidding. Yeah, I mean, you guys know I do the video thing too. And that's always the thing about video is the Goldilocks question, too much, too little, just right. With this video, and I did this on purpose, I really wanted to repeat the 4 words enough just to give enough impression, but it's a good comment. Okay, here's what we're going to do next. I'm going to throw you guys into breakout rooms in pairs, just randomly. And what I want you to do in this first session, I'm going to give you about 6 minutes. I want you to talk amongst yourselves, and I want you to do your very best in the first 6 minutes to come up with, for both of you, what do you think is, on a personal level, your biggest strength and your biggest weakness? Okay, so this first part's going to be personal. I'm just going to rando you guys and see what we come up with.
Mercedes, is that mirror shaped like that, or is it broken?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh.
I got that from a client for like $25. I was so happy. That is some of my favorite shopping when you're getting rid of stuff.
Oh gosh, I'm constantly bringing crap home.
I do go.
I guess that's better than bringing crack home.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's like I'm constantly trying to get rid of stuff, and then every time I have a closing, I bring more crap home with me. It's like, geez.
Oh man, I am like the uber minimalist, let me tell
Yeah. That's why your whiteboard is empty.
That's right.
Good for you.
I was going to say it would be cool if you would draw stick figures and like change them up.
Right.
I know.
Well, no, I did have to, I'm so self-critical that when I write on it, I cringe because I hate my writing.
Oh, it can't be worse than Joe's. It can't. Nobody's.
Hey, by the way, guys, I'm gonna put my contact information in the chat. So if anyone's interested in following up with me, and Anthony, if you wouldn't mind, reach out to me when you have a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to this microphone. I don't know. Who knows? But it's good listening to you. Okay. Pete, let's start with you. What is your biggest strength?
My biggest strength is probably self-awareness and self-discipline. They kind of dovetail together. As you know, I've been on this journey of personal growth, professional development, lifelong learning, student leadership for 25 plus years.
Yeah, I know you have. That's good. Okay. Anthony, what's your biggest strength?
My biggest strength is I keep getting back up on that horse.
Okay. Perseverance. Mr. Coe, what is one thing you need to work on?
Well, I thought it was a strength and a weakness. Is sometimes I will just keep doing things, trying to make it perfect when it really just needs to get done.
We call you guys recovering perfectionists. Yeah.
And sometimes just get it done and be happy.
I was talking to a very good friend of mine about that once because he's the same way. It's just how some people are. And his name's John. I said, John, what you have to learn to get used to is the idea of good enough.
Yeah. Joe, I tell people, I tell myself that all the time. You know what? This is ridiculous. It's good enough. Get it posted. And then one friend will criticize something. And I'd be like, you know what? Come on. It's good enough. Like, geez.
Is your friend's name Pete? That was a joke. Mercedes, what's one thing you need to work on a little bit?
I need to work on my procrastination.
Oh.
And it's so funny because when I was in like when I had a day job, oh my God, it's like we would pull all-nighters and all this crap. And I don't want to go there again, but there is a happy medium here.
Okay, so I'm going to give you and everybody a little bit of a homework assignment, okay? I want you to look up the Stephen Covey
I've heard it.
planning quadrants.
How do you spell Covey?
Is that the 7 Habits book?
Yeah, it's from the 7 Habits book, and it juxtaposes two ideas, okay? Urgency and importance. And he gives you 4 different quadrants. And spoiler alert, the one you want to be in is quadrant 2, which is where things are not urgent, but they are important.